Alright. It is time for iCast, your freaking awesome replays. And it is the Backstab Butcher challenge down here in the bottom left-hand side saying, I feel sorry for all these people having server issues. It is, I'm only 8. I do regularly play someone on the ladder called I'm 12. And it's usually their excuse when they lose. They say, I'm 12. I hope you feel good about beating me. And I'm like, I do. Having server issues, but better than us. Or better than US? I don't know. Upper in the top right-hand side in the blue, it is Nitro. It is a PvP here. Nitro going across with a very early probe. It's just a gateway behind it, though. No forge. So just here to block any early expand attempts and gate first into also a scout that the two probes bump into each other. Nitro not chatting at all. I'm only very talkative at the start of this game, though. And of course, remember, guys, the idea was to harass, backstab, and go after the opponent's workers. Go past them, hit their economy, their production, and all the rest. If you guys want to get your replays in for next week, the challenge is Fighting the Tide. Use many waves of attack and expand behind each one to grow as large as the ocean. I want you guys to be doing that, you know, just that confident friggin' attack, expand, and see if you can get that power overwhelming going. It's not going to work every single game by any means, but it's going to force you all to plan out and be a bit more confident than usual. That's one of the most powerful ways to play StarCraft, attacking and expanding. Keep your opponent busy on the back foot. Get away with some greed behind it. Only one gate for Nitro here. So Nitro looking like they want to go for a very quick tech. Whilst I'm only 8, has already gone 2 gates. It's finishing saturating the gases here. Second pylon's a little late there. I'm only 8, a bit delayed on the probe production. Third pylon goes down on the low ground. Second gateway goes here. Oh, okay. Nitro is one of these people. Stuck in the old days. Is like, yeah, I don't give a shit about accessibility. So Archons will not be able to get in and out of this base. Doesn't even give a shit. So that doesn't matter. Archons aren't even people anyway. And I'm like, whoa, buddy. You can't say that in 2020. Gonna get shunned from the protoss. What is that? He's like, I'd like a shield battery, but I don't want it to distract from my mining. And I'm like, but then they can come in and kill you guys here and here without you healing them. He's like, it's fine. I'll react and pull them back. I've seen people do this, and it's great if they react really quick. I've also seen people not react and lose half a mineral line without pulling the workers back to the shield battery when an oracle comes in. A few stalkers are coming on out. Now, I'm only 8 is like, hey, I get to see the entire base. Gets in, does a loop-de-loop, and doesn't actually manually scout, because it's the exact same patrol path from the beginning of the game. Literally had a free pass to see the Stargate, didn't take advantage. Oh my god. What a great shit show from both players. Nitro not building a gateway unit for 30 seconds, gives him the scout. I'm only 8 says, I'm only 8. I don't want to scout. I wouldn't even know what to do with the information. I'm a small child. Fuck you. Nitro is taking a gas on the natural and making void rays. So I think we're understanding what sort of player Nitro is. I think Nitro wants to make air units and just fucking click them into shit. This is some... You know, these workers would actually mine more if they were mining off this base than doing this long distance stuff, right, guys? Only once you've got about 20, 21 workers on the main are they going to they're going to be more efficient, the extra ones going down here. So yeah, just casually mining from a third gas on the natural. Why the hell not? Void Ray and Stalkers moving out as the Oracle's coming in. Now let's see if that Oracle, like we said, is he going to pull back the workers and protect them from this Oracle harass? Likewise, 3 Stalkers and a Void Ray. What is there at home? Not that much right now. 2 stalks. If the battery can finish, should be okay, especially with overcharge, but that's not ready for another 30 seconds. Oracle comes on in, grabs a worker, a second worker, a third worker. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And then doesn't even run to the shield battery. Runs away from the shield battery. Oh. Oh, so stupid. Okay, 1 stalker falls there, has to pull back. Low ground is in trouble. That Oracle gets way more damage than it ever should. 14 probe kills. And yeah, players who build static defense in terrible situations continues to entertain me. Okay, 5 stalkers and a sentry should be able to save this expansion. I'm Only 8 is going to get control of that. The Oracle comes in, though. It's going to turn on. And, of course, it can slowly pick up some kills. Let's see, though. Do they... Okay, good pullback here. That Oracle gets 1 kill. It's going to get a 2nd kill. And you know what? Oh, shield battery's out of energy. Shield battery's out of energy. 7 kills, 8 kills. Oh, my God. Why are these units so slow? What were they doing? Oh, my God. Did he not even notice this? 9 kills on the Oracle. Why is it the players who build the shield batteries the earliest who are like the worst at defending oracles? Do you guys ever notice that? It's always the players who build the safety shield battery who then just like put it in the wrong spot or don't react when the oracle comes in. It's reset. I thought this game was going to be over from the start, but they're both at 20 workers. They both massively screwed the pooch in the early stages. Lots of Stalker Sentry here. What's the evolution for Nitro? Just 2 Void Rays and a few Stalkers. Still has an Oracle. Both players do have an Oracle, so that's always a useful one, right? This one's got tons of energy for I'm Only 8. This Oracle's going to run back in, but you've got Jack All Energy and there's a shield battery. So that's the most nonsense turning on of the laser beam I've probably ever seen. Turns it on, yeah, basically runs his energy out and then walks away. So that's how you know that this Oracle has never grown up hungry. Just does not understand the cost of that energy. Is like, nah, it's fine. I use $100 bills to start campfires. And you're like, oh, okay. That Oracle does not understand how much all this shit costs. Meanwhile, Nitro is just building Void Rays right now, followed by more Void Rays. Does have the expansion up, so isn't long distance mining this gas, thankfully. Oracle's going to come on in. Still no defense left in the main. I'm quite sure Nitro doesn't use control groups for the army. Let's take a look. So, whole army on 1 plus Oracle on 2. So basically, it's one of these players who presses F2 and then goes control 1 and is like, yeah, I use control groups. And you're like, that's not using control groups. And they're like, it is. Like, I press F2 and then I put them on 1. And then I select number 1 because it's slightly closer to press than F2. And I'm like, I don't know. This does not count. this does not count. What's the bet this Oracle comes in and kills another 7 workers? There is a Void Ray kind of nearby, but that's only because Nitro's rally point is there. He brings them all to the front again. On the other hand, Forge, Robo on the way, so going to try to get into and a Twilight. Oh, I hate this wall off. It's going to be really hard to get in and out of your own base. So I'm Only 8 walling off his own base in a bit of an awkward manner. Hallucination comes in, sees the base is empty, and the Oracle comes in and goes for a big old stasis trap. Oh! Goodbye, entire mineral line. Oh! Nitro doesn't even notice it. Nitro literally has no idea that just happened, is just looking at the probe at the 3rd, where on Nitro's camera is like, having a pretty good game, hey. Oh my god, is he not even going to remember? Because he doesn't even see it. He might not even put the probes back on mining in the main. That stasis is running out about now. The probes are just standing there. Nitro's just like, haha, got a 3rd nexus, making +1 flyer attack. That's right. Still has not looked in the main once. He's going to take a 4th guy. Oh my god. No! Nitro. We're still on Nitro's camera. Finally looks at the main to queue up a Void Ray, by the way. That was to queue up a Void Ray, because only builds Void Rays when looking at it. Realizes the probe's just standing there. Leaves 2 of them. 2 of them are still just idle, by the way. These guys are in a forgotten department. There's one there, and there's one there. 1, 2. That's hilarious. Oh my god. And is now building 2 more Stargates, which 100% aren't going to get added to the control group. And since we've seen that Nitro has never actually produced off the Stargate control group, right? You guys can't see it's behind me. There is 1 Stargate on control group 7, but whenever he builds Void Rays, he goes to the main, clicks it, and then clicks build Void Ray. So amazing mechanics here from Nitro in this game. I just love that little debacle. You know there's an Oracle out there. Okay, building a battery there is kind of good, but I'm just amazed that there's no Void Ray left behind. Now, that's a lot of Blink Stalkers. Oh, but they dive in. Get out, get out, get out. They were like, yeah, he's probably out of position. Let's kill this Nexus. Run, 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 run. Force fields? Ooh. Oh, he can kind of trap the units, but... Oh, Prismatic Alignment does turn on, but 2 Void Rays already fall. A 3rd one goes down. I'm Only 8 does focus down 3 of those Void Rays pretty well, but those Void Rays still have Prismatic Alignment, and that is a dead Prism. Those Stalkers need to recall right now, I think. And you can see he's trying to get it together. Oh, this is the slowest recall of all time. That Oracle, by the way, has been spotted. That and the Pylon are both looking at each other. He's like, oh, you smell funny. No, you smell funny. Your mum's fat. No, your mum's fat. Yeah, okay. All right, they're just gonna... At least the Pylon hasn't called his buddies over yet. You know, the Oracle's words, he says, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. The Oracle says, how about lasers, dickhead? How about lasers? What are your thoughts on those? Flies directly past his army, tries to put down a stasis trap. It gets blocked, so he goes to put one in the main. The Stalkers say, distraction. Nitro says, what's that mean? He says, it's a distraction. He says, what? What's a distraction? Everybody, quick, go look at the distraction. Wait, he just queued another one on top. That doesn't do anything. What? That does not extend it. It just automatically gets set off by the units and doesn't hit them because they're in stasis. Anyways, let's go take a look. Nitro's got a big blink arm. He's adding DT shrine. So I'm only 8 is adding like a good tech and like, you know, DTs, blink stalkers, doing harassment, is actually doing things. Awesome maneuvering from I'm only 8. Unfortunately, I'm only 8 has a shit economy. And oh, the Oracle just died to the Void Rays that were popping as well. These Stalkers, they're being annoying, but I don't think annoying is enough in this case, dude. Nitro is actually making +1/1 Void Rays en masse, which are pretty hard to deal with. Archon, Storm, or Mass Phoenix are kind of the best things for dealing with Void Rays. Stalkers can deal with them in small to medium numbers. But right now, I mean, look at the economy of I'm only 8. I'm only 8's economy is very, very fragile right now. Down 20 workers, half the supply. And I'll tell you what, this phallic thing here needs to do a lot. It needs to do just about everything. There is currently there's one cannon behind the third. That is the only detection. Okay, it's building cannons in the main, none inside here, none in this mineral line. So that side of the mineral line's open for DTs. This base is completely open to DTs. Oracles are building, so they are pretty good detection. And Flux Veins is almost finished as well. Where is that fleet beacon, by the way? Back here. So the Void Ray movement speed is about to kick in. DTs are going to run into every single base, but I'm only 8's economy is just so much weaker and is not growing at anything close to the speed of the opponent. It's all about a bunch of invisible douchebag men. What can they possibly do? This one here on the natural is going to cause havoc. Let's go. Do we want to watch the player's reaction? No, he's actually pulling his units back. He's pulling them back. Okay, that DT runs in and dies. This one, though, is going to depower the production. There's an Oracle here. He gets one of them. He does get one of the DTs. A good revelation. These DTs are tearing up that mineral line. They're cannon off to the side doing jack shit right now. He's going to have all of his Stargates depowered and already has killed 33 workers in this game. Had killed a few before, but look at that. The Stargates get depowered. These DTs did some sick damage. Does revelate that. Nothing there to kill it right now, but the Void Rays do come over, and that's going to clean things up. So that ties up the economy. Unfortunately, I'm only 8 still doesn't have an actual force that can do shit. And there's carriers building. I'm only 8 needs to take like 4 bases right now, or is just dead. Storm is very cute. Good against Void Rays, not terrible versus other things. But against carriers, Storm just doesn't usually cut it. Like, if you get a ton of tanky Archons or something, you can kind of storm down Interceptors, but you need a ton of Storms. Like, you need to blanket an entire area. Just one Storm is not going to actually kill the Interceptors. 2 or 3 Storms, usually not going to kill the Interceptors unless you hit it just perfect. These DTs are going to run on in another round. No cannons got built on this base. Oh my god, okay. Revelation does go down. That DT, those 6 kills... not bad. I think that's well worth it. This Prism could find its way into the main. There's plenty of cannons up there, so 1/1 upgrades. What do we got on the other side of the map? A 4th base going down. I'm only 8. Still not at that big of an economy. And I'll tell you what, if I was in I'm only 8's position here, I'd say, well, the way I win this game is I just lose. Like, I don't know how you could possibly beat Nitro in these circumstances unless you can somehow throw a sheet over your head, scream Oogie Boogie, and have Nitro shit his pants. Because if he doesn't shit his pants, like, you're just going to not have enough... that you need him to take his Kevlar off, apparently. Like that's kind of the situation. You need him to be like, oh no, I messed myself. Take his helmet off, take his Kevlar off, unload his rifle for some reason because something sprayed in there as well. You really need Nitro to be caught with his pants down. Because he's still adding upgrades, +2 attack on the way, more carriers building, 67 probes, Still putting cannons behind. What is with this cannon position? Can anyone explain this? Does he think he's going to get harassed from that side? And like these cannons, why are they always behind the mineral line off to the side? Such a weird thing. You can tell doesn't want to put them in the mineral line, which I guess that's fair enough, but kind of a weird thing. DT Blinks on the way, +3 attack. So good ground upgrades. As I mentioned, Stalkers kind of just suck, though. They can blink forward and kill carriers if the Void Rays are dead. But if the Void Rays have Prismatic Alignment on, you blink into that. It's kind of like diving at your opponent and biting on their sword, on the pointy end of their sword. Like, it's not a good way to do it. So, I'm only 8. I don't know how you win this game. What's the carrier counter? Okay, it's only 4. The carrier production did slow down, but it's about to be 6. Or 5 at least, and then 6 when this one pops. And that Zealot's kind of denying here. Maybe when Nitro moves out, you base trade. Maybe. This is the sort of game where I'd be like, I'm never beating those in a frontal fight. So what I'm going to do is build 50 cannons here as like a safe zone. And like, hopefully I can defend that. Oh, Zealots in the main. Zealots in the main. Nitro, by the way, look at the expert scouting of Nitro. We're on Nitro's camera right now. And these mass slow Zealot warp in the main. The shield battery overcharge is going to deal with it. He looks over at his third. He's like, hey, there's an observer. That's been in range of that cannon for like a solid minute, by the way. He's trying to build a cannon in range of the observer to counter it. This is amazing. We're on Nitro's camera. Looks back over here, says, oh, shit. Oh, shit. He's running in there. He's trying to warp in Stalkers, which I find incredibly humorous. Why are you making ground units at all? You don't have any upgrades for them. Absolutely bizarre. At the point of hitting critical mass and upgrades of air units, Nitro here is going to go in. Void Rays go in the front. For some reason, there's Mass Stalker on the ground. The Storm obliterates the Void Rays, but oh, the High Templar are exposed. One more juicy Storm does go down. All the Void Rays fall. And as good as that fight kind of was at the start there for I'm Only 8, you get the 4th Nexus. You didn't really kill anything in the main base with the Zealots, and you lose all your High Templar. I mean, I think it's still pretty bad for you. For some reason, why are we building Stalkers, Nitro? I love how a player can base their whole strategy around building expertly upgraded air units and then be like, and now I will build 30 unupgraded Stalkers, 2 at a time, off my gateways. And I'm like, what? You've unlocked all the late game tech. They're like, yes, now I'd like to build the unit which is only good at the very beginning of the game. And you're like, huh? It's amazing to me when players can be so good at like cannons, batteries, reinforcing the bases, continual air upgrades more or less. You're building an expert like late game A move comp, carrier Void Ray. And they're like, no, I need Stalkers. And you're like, that's the what? 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 Oh, I'd love to hear the reasoning behind that one. All right, what do we got? Shields is not done yet. It's just +3 attack. These Archons are going to die so quick. This army is just better for Nitro right now. There's no Storm. Zealots are going to warp in the main. They're slow Zealots once again. These Archons all getting killed as they run past. I'm Only 8, I think, is totally... I think Nitro's got this one in the bag, honestly. These cannons in the main will end up defending... they actually depower 1 cannon. That is nicely done. But the production's going to stand strong for now. A few Archons and Stalkers coming in. Even these cannons are probably going to kill an Archon or 2, right? Especially if overcharges go down. Look at that. And I don't know how you ever kill this air army. I mean, there's not that many cannons, I guess, across these bases. Just a few at each base. But Nitro's even got Void Rays and carriers in the main clearing up these Zealots. Is taking out all the bases. I'm Only 8 is in a desperate position here. Nitro is killing the bases way quicker, but the units stall there for a moment. These units stall as well, though. Both players are trying to deal with this insane base trade, but neither one is really progressing as fast as they should, and the recall's going to come down. And that recall should be more than enough to hold on in this scenario. This game's going to go on. I'm Only 8. It's like, I guess I go home. A Zealot is trying to kill that base. He's trying to send his own probe up to take that corner base, realizing having a base on your opponent's side is one of the least expected things in a base trade like this. But the Stalker does find it. And oh, 2 carriers got left behind. Oh no, Nitro is going to get 1 Archon. 1 Archon for 2 carriers. A great trade there for I'm Only 8. And still 9 carriers though. Oh, that's nasty. +2 armor's going to kick in for them as well. Dude, I losing 2 of your bases and about 20 probes. I'm Only 8 is so screwed in this game. Like running around with Stalkers in this scenario you're just like, oh, I could technically win, but if I stand and fight with his army for 3 seconds, my whole army will die and I will kill 4 to 10 interceptors. That's literally what this army-to-army clash looks like. I mean, sure, you're more mobile. You're not that much more mobile. Those carriers will take you to Dicktown, mate. You can't recall this whole force. It's going to run up and get this Nexus. Now, let's see if Nitro is going to... Oh, Nitro learned the lesson from the previous fight. He's going to group up. That's a lot of units. Nitro not aim... Oh, he's got to pull those carriers back. He's got to pull those carriers back a little bit if they get blinked on. The Archons are falling. Oh, it's just too much. It's just too much. And he... Oh my god, guys, I think I'm only 8 actually killed 12 interceptors in this fight. It's better than I thought. I thought it would be 4 to 10, but takes out 12, 13. I think that was 13 interceptors for 3/4 of the army, and unfortunately, it looks like Nitro weathers the storm and hangs on. I'm only 8, still just building Stalkers desperately, and that's not going to cut the mustard, mate. Nitro, let's attack move this one, shall we? I think you've got it in the bag. If this game goes on any longer, it's going to truly rely on Nitro just kind of having that panicked moment where you psych yourself out when you're winning, and then you just take a shit in your bed. You know, it's not something we enjoy doing too much, but a shit in the bed, it's something we've all done before. Can Nitro do it? Nitro doesn't know about the base. Base hidden there, base hidden there. Stalkers and Archons backstabbing. I'm only 8's like, Backstab Butcher? Well, it's the only way back into this game. You got to pull that army home, because if that army goes and just kills the main and natural, it's game over, right? Kill those and then recall. Carrier rally! The carrier rally gets caught! Oh my god, 1 carrier dies, 2 carriers die. The Warp Prism of the Archon does fall. But that's 4 carriers that are going to go down. Oh, okay, that's the sort of fight the Stalkers want to get. Stalkers and Zealots on the left find the undefended base that doesn't really have any cannons at it either. Oh, I'm only 8, finally finding some big damage. But these Stalkers coming in hot on the tail, and with the battery there as well. I mean, losing a base is not the end of the world. Nitro still has 11 carriers on the up. They have 2/2 plus 3 attacks on the way. These Stalkers need to get the hell out of there. If we go for the top left base, we get cornered. So I'm only 8 making a clever decision to pull back down the left-hand side of the map. And at this point, Nitro is like just doing his Percy from the Green Mile impression. Dead man walking, dead man walking. These carriers are just fucking banging their nightstick on the fucking cage of Jagannatha. I'm only 8's like, no, my next appeal might work. You never know. My next appeal, it could be all right. It's not all right. You are fudged, mate. I love the fighting from behind. I think I'm only 8, definitely a fantasy fan, right? You know, it's like, oh, I'm down 145 supply. Maybe I can do it. And you know what? With players like that, there's always like, if they do it enough, they eventually get some amazing comebacks where the opponent kind of just does make some mistakes, but they also force these mistakes. Once again, look at this. Look at this. Works his way around the map. Nitro caught slipping. And once again, there's more carriers in the open. Up to 15 carriers. Oh, I'm sorry. Make that 14. Oh, I'm sorry. Make that 13. The Stalkers do some good damage, but now they are trapped. Oh, the carriers. Oh, the carriers are doing lots of damage. A few of them do die, but a few of the Stalkers, that is. Gets the Nexus. I'm only 8, needs to run. You need to get out of there. Is going to go for another base? No. Good choice to pull back there. And just ring around the carrier. Pocket full of Stalkers. Is just trying to sneeze on Nitro. Is like, I'll give you the Terrazine diseases, man. I'll give you all sorts of fucking mind games and shit. Nitro is like, dude, I just hit 3/2 upgrades. Like, this is so in the bag. That +3 is kicking in 10 seconds. And this time kind of anticipates the rotation. He's right there. You just caught a glimpse. He's right there, mate. You got to just chase him down, buddy. The Stalkers, once again, they did a full circle of the map. Are they going to do it again? Yeah, they've only got one direction they can run, and that's north. But a lot of Stalkers going down, dude. 70 Stalkers have died this game. Yes, they get a Nexus. That's nice. But so many are dying. And this carrier count is just huge, dude. Nitro's economy has actually taken a really big hit in the last minute, and quite a few of these Nexi are dying. So I'm only 8 just doing everything he can to wriggle through with these Stalkers. Takes out a Stargate. These cannons, though. These cannons are punishing, dude. Another Stargate goes down. I'm only 8's pretty screwed. Tries to recall a few Stalkers out, but oh. I mean, there's an income advantage, but we've just sacrificed an extra 20 Stalkers for that. 86 Stalkers have died this game. Only 8 carriers. 98 probes have died on Nitro's side of the map. And there is a thing where sometimes a player takes so many of these harassment waves that they just stop rebuilding, right? And right now, it's like, it's really important for Nitro to keep reorganizing the economy. Maybe split the army onto either side of the map in halves, since you've got such an overwhelming army. All right, look at that. Stalkers find a very important nexus as it finishes, and Nitro's had enough. Nitro's going to go across the map, but Nitro is way behind on this base trade. I'm only 8 with this 2 rounds of 12-gate Stalker warp-ins. Is like, hey, wait a second. You don't even seem to be coming over here to defend. Let's go in and let's do this base trade. And Nitro is going to try and go for it, but you know what? Nitro, okay, plenty of cannons in the main, as well as a Void Ray or 2. No Stargates left. So Nitro is in a bit of trouble, of course. 13 carriers, a Void Ray, and 16 Stalkers. Ah, yeah, as well as the 2 Oracles, which are probably going to run into cannons and die. Unfortunately. 5 cannons there, going to do what they can. If only the probes fought as well, they could actually do okay against these Stalkers if those probes manage to buffer for the cannons, but good focus fire. I'm only 8 coming in and just making the best of a disastrous situation in this game, just refusing to fight head on, constantly trying to go for the counter tracks, and finally, Nitro, using this overwhelmingly powerful army, is going to run in and take out these bases. Now, the DT Shrine is still there. No DTs have been built, though, and all the gateways are being depowered. That is the last production. Those 2 gateways right there are the last production. Now, there is a probe taking Nexus there, another one there. Like I said, the main base has 2... If he... Oh, he's got to leave the rally here. If he got a few Void Rays up above his cannons, I think his main would be impenetrable. As it is, he may need to recall to get back there to defend. This game was absolutely sick in terms of the fact that I'm only 8 has just hung in there and is just like, go through the motions, keep backstabbing, keep backstabbing, refuse to fight, and despite being outgunned and outmanned the entire time, the guerrilla tactics, the backstab butchery has actually worked out in the long run. The Stalkers take out every cannon in the main base. They're going to take out all the production. That Nexus goes down on the other side. If you're going to recall, you need to do it right now, buddy. Nitro, you need to do it right now if you're going to do it. If you don't recall, that Nexus could get focused in the next few seconds. The Forge does go down. They don't want there to be too many more cannons. I'm Only 8 actually has a crazy amount of money. If I'm Only 8 had a Forge up, could build like 25 cannons, 30 cannons right now. All those probes going down. There is still 1 base mining on the left of this map. So way more money coming in for I'm Only 8. I'm Only 8 does need to send probes around the map and is indeed doing that. You see 1 probe on the top, another probe on the bottom. DTs come in. Oh, DTs. There's 2 Oracles alive, but I was like, okay, as long as a DT warp in comes in, you could win because those Oracles are the only detection. If you snipe those Oracles, your DTs can eliminate the buildings. Keep in mind, there is a probe here, but there's not that many minerals left. This Nexus on the left needs to survive. Nitro needs to get back to that base and defend it. But you know what? I'm Only 8 could recall here, run north, and kill this Nexus. And Nitro is just so cocky at this point, knowing he has the better army. I'm Only 8 says, valiant effort. I think he thinks he's winning, but oh, he gets an Oracle. Does he get the next one? He gets it. He gets the next Oracle. There's no detection. There's no detection on the map. I'm Only 8 seems to know where the last base is. No, he doesn't. He's cornered. Why is he typing valiant effort? Is he talking about himself or the opponent? He's still looking dead. Take assimilators. You've got to build buildings. You've got to build buildings, Nitro. Build assimilators, build pylons. That's the last building. Build buildings. Nitro, build buildings now. Okay, he rebuilds the Nexus. No, you got to build a Forge. The DTs are coming in. Those DTs, these are the last buildings. He's got to cancel the Nexus and build assimilators right now. Nitro, you fucking fucked it up. Wait. He cancelled it. He didn't even let the Nexus die. He cancelled it to try to... Oh, I mean, I feel for you, Nitro. You fought hard. You fought well. But on the other hand, you did just build a shitload of Void Rays, carriers, cannons, and batteries. He needed to cancel it before the pylon went down. If he cancelled it now, built an assimilator there, like maybe he can quickly kill the buildings. But there's a few things. Notice how Nitro, even when having an army 6 times better, refused to split the army in 2, right? Just refused. Was like, oh, I'm not going to do that. Sorry, let me actually show you the cancel. Yeah, he did cancel it, guys. He's like, oh no, I wouldn't do that one. Like, why would I split my army up? Carriers are best together. It's like, well, your opponent has no army. He could have scoured this map like 15 minutes ago. But I think we just saw that Nitro was just sitting in his corner of the map for so long, just F2 A-moving a blob around. And unfortunately cancels himself into defeat there. Oh, he had so many chances. Keep in mind, this was about 15 minutes of half supply for the red player. 15 minutes, I think. I'm pretty sure with the Valiant F, I think maybe he was talking about himself. It would be funny if he was shit talking there because he's like, haha. Because he hadn't even killed the Oracles at that point. I think he was like, I fought hard, whatever. I'm not sure if he even realized he could win there. But anyways, let's go. So look at this. At this point, it's 75 supply to 130. Like, I'm only 8 was so screwed. The DTs did some damage. The supply was still appallingly bad for the longest time. You know, that's it. Sometimes you can make comebacks through macroing, taking heaps of bases, corner bases, and you can recover because your opponent, like the thing about fighting a turtle is sometimes it just sits there with its head in its shell and it doesn't do anything for the longest time. And you can actually get away with a lot of bullshit. Yeah, 170 to 130 supply. Like this was just, especially when you're fighting SkyTOSS with Stalkers, being behind in supply is beyond a nightmare. These carries just got left behind. But yeah, it was like over 10 minutes of basically being dead in the water there, and that was absolutely silly. That's well played. I'm only 8. An incredible comeback. Not one you get every day. And just shout out to you for hanging on in there. For those who don't know, by the way, there was a famous game, Fantasy vs. Sue, on King Sejong Station. I believe it was a Pro League game. Sue had over 100 more supply than Fantasy, but Fantasy stayed in the game with like a couple of drops around, was just trying to be annoying, floating his buildings. And because Sue was maxed on roaches, right? And Sue thought he had the game. It was GSL according to Eon Blue, actually. It was a GSL game. If anyone can find the VOD, link it up in the comments and stuff. I'm not sure where it is. Or if you can even find the VOD anymore these days. This was like 2013, 2014. And basically, Fantasy managed to hide his starport in a corner of the map, landed it, built a tech lab, got out a Banshee or 2 with Cloak, and killed everything. Because he just kept killing the hatcheries and he couldn't get up detection or units that shoot up or something like that. And it was one of the greatest comebacks of all time. So yeah, definitely check that one out. We've actually got a link for it, and it is going to be linked in the video description down below as well. So definitely check that one out, guys. It's linked there in the chat. And hey, never give up, never surrender. GG, well played. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel. Big thanks, Maxan, Colonel, and Vivek. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.